All right, another week of the NFL season is in the books. This one was full of upsets, surprising finishes, all kinds of crazy events that happened in week 10. And I'll start by going over the lackluster, to say the least, Thursday night football game where you had the Raiders and the Broncos. And in this game, if you looked at it, both teams played pretty bad. Overall, the Raiders have kind of been a dumpster fire this year. They haven't been able to figure it out. Geno Smith is over his skis at this point. He has not been playing well. And the Broncos somehow, some way, find a way to win this game. They've time and time again, they've looked really bad through three quarters. And then you always just feel like they're going to turn it on the fourth. This time they didn't even really turn it on the fourth, but they still found a way to win. And they get a 10-7 victory over the Raiders. So we'll see what happens with them moving forward. But at the time, they're 8-2. So they're doing enough to win these games. We'll see how sustainable it is. Next up, we have the Berlin game. This is a really good game. Overtime performance, and you have another team that emerges to 8-2, and that's the Colts. And they found a way to get this win. Falcons dropped to 3-6. Jonathan Taylor has an all-time game, 32 carries, 244 on the ground, and 3 touchdowns. Not to note, Drake London did pretty good as well. Six receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown. But the Colts found a way to battle back in this game, and they were able to get a victory towards the end, and they get the win in Berlin to go to 8-2. Moving on to the Sunday slate, we'll start with the Jaguars and the Texans. This is one the Jags just really gave away. I believe it was 29-10 at one point, and somehow, some way, the Texans with Davis Mills, they just battled back in this game, and they found a way to win. Nico Collins is 136 yards. Dalton Schultz played really well down the stretch, and they just made enough plays. Davis Mills had that great scramble at the end of the game to put them up, and they found a way to win this game. It was crazy. It looked like the Jaguars were going to get into field goal range. Trevor Lawrence is picked off, and the Texans improved to 4-5. If they lose this, they're probably dead. The year's probably lost. Huge win for them. It saves potentially their season. They're not done yet. Next, we had a big shocker with the Panthers and the Saints. And the Panthers, they've been the toughest team to bet this year because usually they're underdogs and they'll play up to their competition. Like when they play Green Bay, they'll play up to their competition. So finally, in a game where it just seems like they should get the victory, they find a way to lose to the Saints, so debatably the worst team in the NFL. And it's wild how this happens, but I don't know what to do with the Panthers. I don't think I'm going to pick them again this year because even in these games where it looks like everything is pointing the direction for them to win, they come out and they play terrible. Chris Olave, got to give him respect. 5 receptions, 104, 1 touchdown. He is doing really well given the situation that he has at quarterback. That's a really bad situation. The fact that he hasn't demanded for a trade or anything like that, it shows his character, and he's finding ways to make things work. Bryce Young is terrible. There's no really saving grace for Bryce Young at this point, and they're 5-5. Make what you want of that, but this is a very fraudulent team. Moving on to the Patriots and the Buccaneers. And the Patriots, believe it or not, I thought they'd win 10 games this year. I did. You can go back to my prediction video, but I never thought that they'd be 8-2. 8-2 is incredible. And Tampa Bay loses a game at home. I thought that they would be able to come off some rest, win this game, but that was not the case. And Baker, he played pretty well. I thought Tez Johnson has been a steal of a pick for the Bucs. He's looked really good. I think Emeka Egbuka has slowed down a little bit. Travion Henderson hit a big play on the sweep. It shows his breakaway speed ability. He had that at Ohio State. That run actually reminded me of the play of Ohio State versus Oregon in the Rose Bowl last year. Same pitch out, same breakaway speed, but really impressive performance for the Patriots, and they get a 28-23 win over the Buccaneers to go to 8-2. Next, you have the Ravens, who are still alive, still making things happen at this point. And J.J. McCarthy did not look good in this game for the Vikings. He looked really overwhelmed in this game, to say the least. And they really got kind of routed. If you look at it, they had a garbage touchdown and they tried to make it a game, but the Ravens looked really impressive, I thought, if you look at it. And Lamar Jackson, they're not done yet. They're 4-5 right now. They could still come back, win the division. We'll see what happens with the Steelers game tonight. That's a very impactful game on what happens, but the Ravens are definitely not done in that AFC North division. Moving on to the shocker of the week, the huge upset, the Bills versus Dolphins. Bills lose to the Dolphins. It's wild that they lost this game to Miami. Miami looked all but dead. Achane had like the game of his life, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. I believe he had like 49 points on fantasy. It's crazy. And the Bills just couldn't get anything going. Even when every time it looked like they were coming back, something would happen. They'd stab themselves with a foot. So this is a team that looks like they're just struggling against superior, lower class, I should say, competition. And these are the games for the Bills where it's like they can look really good one week and then they kind of fall apart after that. So they need to improve that overall. Moving on, you have the Giants and the Bears. And it looked like the Giants had this game. They were up 20-10 at one point. Jackson Dart was wheeling and dealing. Then he gets hurt. A few plays transpire that put the Bears back in position to potentially win the game. And give Caleb Williams his credit. He has won a lot of clutch games this year, and that's something that a guy like Justin Fields in Chicago didn't really do. He didn't win a lot of clutch games, and I still think he has his problems thrown in the pocket. But overall, he extended some plays, especially on that last run, was very impressive, and the Bears get a win. They're 6-3, and now it's a team that you talk about having a shot to potentially compete for and win that division. So the great win for the Bears, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. They have really improved this year. Then you go to the second window of games here, and you have a big blowout. The Cardinals and the Seahawks. Wasn't close from the jump. I believe it was 35-0 at one point. Big takeaways from this game are that Seattle is really good. Seattle might be the best team in the NFL right now. And I think their only limitation is possibly Darnold could get potentially turnover happy. That could be something that could happen. But Trey McBride, another takeaway from this game is Trey McBride, the tight end for Arizona. He might be the best tight end in the NFL. He has been really performing at a high pace. But overall, the overarching takeaway is that Seattle is really good, and they beat a Cardinals team that has had a lot of momentum. So really impressive victory for them. Moving on, you have the Lions and the Commanders, and this one is another game that really wasn't close from the jump. The Lions took advantage of a Commanders team without Jaden Daniels, and they dominated through and through, 44-22 in this one. And for the other blowout in the second window, wow, the second window was not very exciting today. The Rams killed the 49ers. I predicted this. My picks are going pretty good at this point. 9-3 at the time of recording this video. And the Rams through and through. Devontae Adams is really starting to ball at this point. But I just figured it's really tough to beat a team twice. Thought the Rams would come away with this win. At the time of recording this video, the Sunday Night Football game is really a dud of a game right now. Steelers lead 3-2 over the Chargers. Is that correct? Yeah. Steelers lead 3-2 over the Chargers. The Steelers are driving right now, so we'll see. I predicted the Steelers would find a way to win that game. Chargers have a lot of injury issues that they're dealing with that's making it really tough for their offense to put up points. So I think the Steelers will hold on and win that. And then for Monday Night Football, I got the Eagles. I think the Packers have been really inconsistent overall. With that being said, that's going to do it for the Week 10 reactions. I look forward to posting my picks for Week 11. I've been on a roll recently, but between last week and this week, picks have been going great, percentages going up. So really look forward to doing my picks for Week 11 on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, I completely forgot about the Jets and the Browns game. This was actually a really interesting game. So initially in my predictions video, I picked the Jets to win because I thought their personnel offensively was better. I thought they'd put up more points. And then literally an hour or 30 minutes after I made that video, Sauce Gardner got traded. Then they traded their interior defensive lineman. And after that, it just looked like the team was depleted at this point. It's like, how much more depth do we have at the point if we're the Jets? So kind of flipped on in the comments. I was like, probably would have taken the Browns, but I'll stick with the Jets for now. And beyond all odds, the Jets come in and they get a win against Cleveland. And I don't know if it's a testament to how bad the offense is for the Cleveland Browns or how inspired the Jets played. Breece Hall played really inspired. Justin Fields didn't throw much, but found some ways to win, doing the best of what he could. But forgot to note, Jets get an incredible victory when pretty much everybody counted them out against the Cleveland Browns, who I believe are now tied. Might be Tennessee, I forgot, but definitely one of the worst records in the NFL. And with that, that will now officially do it. Picks video at 8 p.m. Eastern Tuesday.